today's collectible spot, we are having a look at the Play Arts Kai variant Play Arts action figure number 12, the Joker. This comes to us from the folks over at Square Enix. This is recommended for ages 13 and up. And it does have a choking hazard, not recommended for children under 3 years of age, as it does have some small parts. A bit of an older figure from the folks over at, well, the Variants Play Arts Kai figures. Spot found this at his local comic book store, and I always wanted to give it a pick up and have a look at the figure. The figure looked interesting enough, so we're going to be having a look at it right now. The front box art kind of gives you a really obscure, interesting looking design of Joker, which translates itself then into the figure inside when we get that finally opened up. The side of the package doesn't really give you all that much, just DC Comics Variants Play Arts Kai figures. But then on the back, there we go. We have the DC Comics Variants Play Arts Kai. Number 12 was the Joker. Number 13 was Harley Quinn. I haven't picked up Harley Quinn yet, but if Joker turns out pretty cool, Harley's kind of in that same vein, so I'll be likely to pick her up as well. Collect all the figures in this series. And to check out more from the folks over at Square Enix, of course you can go to www.squareenix.com, I think .jp, which is so much writing down there. There we go. Yeah, www.square-enix.shop.com. And then finally, just before Spot gets this completely opened up, there is a bit of a read-up inside. From the Play Arts Collective of Artisans, the definitive edition of action figures Beauty in a Box. There's basically a read-up of Square Enix, and then there's a read-up of Joker. The read-up on Joker says, madness to make the whole world cower, the Batman's most sinister nemesis. The Joker is the most vile and powerful villain of all. He relishes in his heinous misdeeds as if he were enjoying a game of cards, with the coldest and most terrifying laugh and a pitch-black sense of humor, earning him the alias the Clown Prince of Crime. He rains down fear and terror on the people of Gotham City, skin so pale that looks devoid of life, and lips so red they seem to drip with blood. It's awfully a harsh read-up of Joker. He scoffs at notions of peace and love. With his dark, demented jokes and a madness beyond human comprehension, he plans to drive the world to chaos. The first step, murder the Batman. Which I don't think I would necessarily agree with the read-up necessarily. I don't feel like Joker would never really kill Batman. Joker realizes that Batman is as pivotal to him existing. Like, he even says, like, I would never kill you, I need you. So I don't know, I'm a little iffy on that, but I do love this artwork. If you could kind of get that in a frame, put that on a wall, that would look awesome. And then finally, on the other side of the package, well, on the other side, we've got the full Joker here with the interchangeable hands. It comes with a couple of different accessories and more. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up. When we come back, though, we're going to get a better look at the Square Enix Variants Play Arts Kai figures. This is figure number 12, the Joker. There's more anyway, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Just before we have a look at the Joker, the first thing we'll have a look at is the standard Play Arts Kai display stand that comes with the figures. It's the same stand that we get with other figures as well, almost a translucent white or translucent clear display stand with an adjustable neck. This neck here you can just pop out and adjust accordingly depending on the height of the figure. It's also an adjustable knuckle or adjustable hinge at the top where you can rotate the waist clip. You can open and close it. So you can adjust it to whatever figures, or in this case you can adjust it to fit the Joker, but you can adjust it for any figures from the releases of Play Arts Kai figures. Joker, I would almost say, needs a display stand. Although really when I display them anyways, I tend to use the display stands anyways. But this particular figure I feel does warrant at least getting this display stand, keeping him standing up. I'm surprised actually that I can get him to stand. He gave me a little bit of issues. But let's have a look at the figure. We'll look at the figure and then we'll kind of look at the 3 accessories that he comes with. He doesn't come with a lot of accessories, but it comes with kind of really interesting accessories. The figure itself is, again, a slight departure from perhaps some of the other Jokers that we've seen in the past. He's very over the top. Over the top in such a way that I actually dig it. I really like the design of him. He comes across like almost a masquerade or even jester style of design for the Joker, but I must say I quite like it. Let's quickly have a look at his face. Yes, there is no denying the fact that that is the Joker. He has the green hair, although a little bit more pointed. He comes across almost like more of an elf. He has the trademark smile, very devilish smile that goes almost up to his ears. And then around the areas of his eyes, he's got what almost would equate something like he would be a member from Kiss. Almost a star that's fanning out from his eyes, cascading down his cheeks and up his eyebrows. It almost looks cat-like. It almost looks star-shaped. It's interesting. In some cases, it's a departure from Joker, but in other cases, it's very much Joker that we quite know and love. His face is pale, painted in white, but I like that they've given him a dark gray wash that goes underneath his chin, in the canals of his neck, and then also he's got that gray wash that's around the side of his head. Kind of gives a nice outlining to the face and separates it out from the hair. The hair gets a similar enough treatment, a dark wash, a dark green wash that comes really from the sides of the hair out to the lighter greens that make up the tips of his hair. But the hair has a very pointed, it's anime, but it's also kind of very fantasy driven, it seems like, the design of this character. It's very cool though, I have to admit. Like Spot was mentioning, the outfit itself, to me, kind of reminds me of like a masquerade, like those old masquerade balls where somebody would get dressed up with long-tailed jackets. They probably would have, a mask on him, a mask on as well. Joker doesn't have the mask because, of course, he's got his face paint going on there. But that's kind of what the costume conveys to me. He has very long-tailed, almost a tuxedo jacket. As you can see, the individual tails are individually socketed, so you can move these depending on how you want to have them displayed. You could now we saw this with Batman too, you can rotate these and you can have them kind of blowing to the side, you can have them kind of fanned out if you so wish. I'll likely probably just have them down, or you know what, I might even have them down but kind of all pointed back. It's pinstripe, it's like a pinstripe jacket, so it's purple, but it's not just purple. There's darker areas where they've got a darker purple, and then there's a lighter purple around the shoulders, and then the pinstriping itself is a lighter pink that really pops on this particular figure. His shirt underneath is orange, and he's got the bow tie, but the bow tie is almost as extreme as the jacket itself. The top of his collar also is pointed too, which I think kind of just gives him a real fantastical, did Spot just make up a word? A fantastical look, but a look I really so appreciate. What's interesting also, too, is when you start looking at his feet. He does have that same pinstripe suit that carries down to his knee area, but then when you get down to his knees, it almost seems like he's wearing these knee-high boots that carry down into these elf-like pointed shoes. The shoes can be somewhat problematic getting him to stand. I feel like I don't have enough clearance or enough footprint touching the surface. At least here, it makes things difficult, to say the least, for him to properly stand. Of course, segueing ourselves down to the display stand that we already had a look at, a display stand in this case I think would be necessary, especially if you want to get Joker in more extreme poses. Other than that though, it's Joker. It's just different of a Joker. Also the gloves, the gloves are a dirtier, almost off-white color, where they've given it a dark gray wash. It definitely screams, again, Joker to me, but Joker just in the eyes of, the Play Arts Kai designs, which, as you know, tends to be a little over the top, and I like that. In Joker's case, I like that. Captain America, I had to kind of look at it and have it in hand for a little bit before I really started warming up to it. Joker, I think immediately, I'm falling in love with the figure. I think the figure is pretty good. He does come with some accessories, not many, mind you, but he does come with a couple of different accessories. He comes with an interchangeable hand, And this interchangeable hand is solely, if I can get him to stand here. He's got ratcheted joints in the ankles, but it doesn't help sometimes getting him to stand. And I wonder if maybe it's the tail of the jacket that's probably getting, adding a little back weight to the figure. Get him to stand here properly. Come on, Joker. Spot's got to show the rest of your accessories. We'll just hold him for the time being. But he does come with an interchangeable hand. The hand is exactly fitted for the only other accessory that he comes with, and that is a switchblade. It's dark in the sense of Joker. I mean, you don't see any laughing fish. I kind of wish he could have come with a cane, though. I feel like a cane, like the Joker crowned cane, would have been an ideal accessory for this particular Joker, but sadly he doesn't come with it. He does, though, come with the one switchblade. And if you think, I feel like he could have come with more switchblades, hey, that's okay. That's okay, because the folks over at Square Enix also give you an interchangeable hand that gives you 3 extra switchblades. They are not removable. They are just sculpted into the hand itself. But it definitely gives you something a little more creepy to have Joker displayed with. Let's go ahead and just pop his hand off the peg, which is extremely easy, I find, with these figures. And thank goodness for that. We can just replace out the one hand. There we go. We'll just pop that back into place. So now he's got 3 switchblades to work with. And then we can go ahead and pop the other hand off as well and switch that out for the singular hand. And we'll just pop the other switchblade in his hand. So it's excessive in the sense of, like, does he need this many switchblades? I think it's cool. I probably would have, again, me as a huge fan of Joker, I personally would have only given him the 1 switchblade. These other switchblades, it's cool and all, but I honestly would have given him a cane. I think that just would have fit this character perfectly. When it comes to the Clown Prince of Crime's Articulation, well, his head is on a ball joint. Now, there is also a secondary ball joint on the base of the socket that attaches to the head. There's that ball joint. But then there's a secondary ball joint. I like that they've done this. They've added a secondary ball joint at the base or stem of the neck. Also, get a gander of how long Joker's neck is. I think that also translates to a very creepy looking Joker, that he's got this really long reptile-like neck. I like that. As for his shoulders are ratcheted. They do go forward and back and out. He does have also that same swiveling point right at the hinge where that shoulder attaches itself to the torso area. He's got an upper torso ball joint, which is a little difficult because, like, this section right here is all rubbery, so you have to kind of get a good grip of it when you start moving it. Ratcheted elbows, I like that. It also does have a rotation and hinge in the hand, but we've already seen that because we obviously changed out the hands themselves. There is no bottom ball joint. It looks like it only resides at the top there. However, he does have the ratcheted legs that go forward, back, and out. The swiveling also at the top cut of that thigh area, similar to the areas of the arm. Double hinge in the knee. And then finally, a hinge in the foot, which also has a rocking pivot point. The gloves, by the way, this section of the cuff of his jacket, as well as the bottom area cuff right attaches to the foot, are loose, separate pieces. They don't go anywhere. They don't serve really any purpose. Then they're just, I don't even know why. Perhaps, I guess it's just because, so to move the leg, it covers over the socket, which I guess is a good clean way of concealing joints. And then, of course, finally on the back, the individual tails of the jacket are individually hinged, so you can rotate those to your heart's content. I have to say, quite like this Joker. I think I almost seem to care for more the DC end of the PlayArts Kai figures than I do like the Marvel. The Captain America was good, and we're going to be having a look at a couple more in future videos. But I really like this Joker. I think Joker turned out quite well. Again, Spot picked this up at his local comic book store if you guys are looking for these. Now, this particular figure is a little bit older, so I would say check your local comic book stores, or you can also find Joker in aftermarket places as well. Today's collectible Spot was having a look at the Play Arts variants, Play Arts Kai figures. Today we're having a look, I believe this was number 12, the Joker. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more collectible Spots heading your way. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time.